All right, I want to talk about home charging real quick and just something that I learned as a fairly new Tesla owner. I'm still waiting for my 220 to get hooked up so I can use this charger, which is a 40 amp charger, which will give me something around 30 miles of charge per hour. Where I wanted to go with this video though is I use the mobile charger right now if I'm not using a supercharger, just because that's what I have. And I use the 110, which is your standard US outlet. The problem is overnight, what I've noticed is the app will tell me that I'm charging at 12 amps on the cord that I was using, which was just a regular light duty cord. But by the morning, I was dropping down to 9 amps. So I went from getting 3 miles of range per charge to 2 miles of range per hour of charge. And I finally concluded, because I've actually tested different outlets in my house and things like that, and some seem to perform better than others. It was actually the cable. So this is a heavy duty. It's a 12 gauge 3-prong wire. So you could probably do 14 gauge, which is a little bit thinner. But 12 gauge is much thicker than, I think the one that I had was probably 16 or 18 or something like that. Really just using it for like charging boat batteries and using like the onboard chargers. But it would get a little bit warm. I could actually touch the wire and the plug and feel like it was getting a little bit warm. Not like hot, but just a little, warmer than ambient temperature. And I think what was happening is that wire was getting hotter. It was losing efficiency, and the car was automatically adjusting, or the charger, whichever is determining, was actually throttling the amperage down. So that's the tip, is just get a high quality extension cord if you're going to use the mobile charger, and that should solve that problem. Then hopefully you'll be like me and invest in a 220, because that's really going to be the game changer. The only reason I charge with this other one, with the regular wall charger, is because I have Sentry mode on, and the car typically consumes electricity when it's not running. So it's really not even to charge it as much as it is just to maintain the charge that's there. But I have been in a situation recently where I didn't have the right adapters, and I was forced to just use the mobile charger for several days, get enough charge to get to a supercharger. So with that in mind, I definitely recommend really making sure you have high quality components like extension cords and things like that, because if you're heavily dependent on the mobile charger to get from point A to point B, that 1 mile of range drop can be pretty significant. I mean, in the course of like a weekend, you're talking about a difference of potentially 30 or 40 miles of charge. So again, just look for heavy duty. Heavy duty typically indicates that the gauge of the wire is going to be a little bit thicker than your garden variety extension cord, and you'll save yourself a lot of headaches.